With me, Police Minister Lisa Neville. Good morning.
Good morning, Neil.
Just before we get to that, this terror attack in New York, where do we stand with the bollards in Melbourne? What's happening with the bollards?
So we've got the temporary bollards in the areas that police have identified as at the sort of the highest risk area. So people will see them at Flinders Street Station, Spencer Street, Federation Square, Olympic Park. So I think there's about 10 or 11 sites. We're in the process of finalising the design, for example, of the permanent ones in Bourke Street. They should be in place by Christmas. We're also upgrading all the CCTV cameras, which is what is fed into the monitoring and assessment centre that police have. So all of that work is well underway, and the siren as well. If you recall, we're putting in a loudspeaker as well.
So when will that be up, the siren?
Very soon. So we'll probably do like Sydney did, a practice run, so people will be alerted, so people understand what it sounds like and what the messages are.
And the new bollards, will they be more effective than the temporary ones?
Well, look, they're a mix, so each area needs to be designed. So I've learnt a lot about bollards, and I've had a look at the size of the vehicle, what they're trying to stop, where it should go. So they're specifically designed for each site, and you'll see that with Bourke Street, and it'll be a mix of bollards but also planter boxes, etc., so in different areas. So it'll improve the amenity of it as well, given these concrete bollards aren't the best.
It makes you shudder when you see what's happening in New York, doesn't it? Because, New York is probably no more crime-conscious city, and last time I was there I felt quite safe walking around at night. If they can't stop it, really nobody can stop it.
Yeah, so
totally.
Look, I think New York, and even last night's case in Bourke Street with the police ramming, just this use of vehicles as a weapon, it's just becoming more prevalent. And I was horrified again. You listen to these stories like this morning on the New York incident. It does give you a sense: can we control this? And look, the best we can do is try and identify the highest risk areas, put in place the best tools we can to minimise risk. I don't think you can eliminate. In that case, it was a bike path, wasn't a footpath, so it was a bike path. So how do we reduce the risk?
And also, you can't stop it.
That's right. Can you eliminate it? No. But the other side of all of that is the work that police do around which they'll obviously, because of New York, they'll be doing that security overlay today, so checking on their persons. I have spoken to the Deputy Commissioner this morning, and they're in contact with New York about what has happened. They'll work with the international and national agencies on, does it change our threat profile? I don't think it will, because appears to be a lone wolf actor in this case, but they'll check the persons of interest, because sometimes it can people can get a bit excited about this. So they do all of that, and they'll do some reassurance as well.
Okay, so it does have that potential to aggravate the threat here.
It does. But this is what they do day to day. So police are well prepared to have a look at this.
Which leads me to something else. Julie Bishop, the acting Prime Minister, Foreign Minister, has declared today there are 40 potential jihadis have returned to Australia and are on the streets. 40 came back, 2 are in custody. Do you know how many of those are in Victoria?
Look, I don't know. I'm not sure that if there are any, there would be that many. But police, again, they'd be on the persons of interest list. And this is actually one of the issues we asked Ken Lane and David Harper to look at as well. So what are the oversight mechanisms to check up and monitor the people who are the foreign fighters?
It's a bit disturbing, isn't it? They've been over fighting with ISIS, throwing people off buildings and killing children, if you believe what we're told. Certainly in a very violent, dangerous situation, and learning how to fight and kill. Yet they come back to Australia and somehow they're allowed on the streets. How does that happen?
Well, it is concerning, and that's why police are very keen and why specifically we asked David Harper and Ken Lane to have a look at this issue of what's the orders you can put in place to oversight people who have returned as foreign fighters, and people associated with them as well.
So if there are some of these 40 people in Victoria, you would assume the police would know?
Absolutely.
They wouldn't necessarily tell you?
No. Well, they would tell us how many persons of interest, but I don't know individuals. That's something that is.
Well, do we know how many people of interest there are?
My memory is in Victoria there's around 300 persons of interest that are regularly monitored.
Gee, that's a lot, isn't it? That is a lot.
It is, yeah.
300, and that could well include these people back in the country.
Yeah, and if you remember, we also announced recently the Threat Assessment Centre, which enables even that lower level to start to have a look at, is there people that are showing signs of becoming a potential risk of extremism.
You confident we're as ready as we can be?
Oh, look, I have a great deal of confidence in our CT command. So we're probably the strongest in the country. We have, AFP people sitting next to our people, so they work hand in hand. That's not the same in every other state, and I'm not putting anyone else down, but we invested particularly in the CT command and in some of things like threat assessment centres, in new equipment, etc., to ensure we had that specialist capability. I have extreme confidence in the team that's running that, and I think that they are minimising every risk in Victoria.